What's going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde here from Blue and Gold with our final thoughts, observation, and prediction video before Notre Dame hits the road and faces North Carolina. Please go ahead and hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like what you see in our content. And head over to blueandgold.com. I promise you, if you like our YouTube videos, you will love all of our written coverage on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, whether that's football, baseball, basketball, both men and women's, as well as recruiting for these sports. So please, again, head to the website. So, Tim, we'll get into your 3 keys to the game in just a moment, but I want to just kind of start with the overall feeling going into the game, which, as we talked about in our live show Wednesday, it's kind of a matter of it's 2 different directions they can go. They beat North Carolina, and it's like, okay, you're 2-2 heading into the bye week against a BYU team that you're feeling like you're rallying around this Notre Dame football team after an 0-2 start, or they lose. And now there's a lot of questions going into a bye week and a lot of time to think about an abysmal start and hear all the media chirping. So is that kind of – you agree with my assessment there, Tim?
No, I totally do. And, we talked about this, during our Wednesday night show where it just has that eerie feeling going on the road. You're 1-2. You need to get to 2-2. You need to get to 2-2 going in a bye, because then you got Brigham Young, which has been talked about for a long time, playing this football game in Las Vegas. So, yeah, without a doubt, this game has it because, we talked the tide could really turn if this program goes 1-3. It just has that type of feel to it of, well, what's going to happen down the road, especially at the quarterback position. So, yeah, this is a big game. This is like one of those little mini Super Bowls early in the season, and Notre Dame needs to rally around Coach Freeman, this program. And going back to my main point, which I thought this team was going to be, was a lot of seniors are playing football at a lot of spots. Yeah, they have some young guys here and there, but I mean, this is an old football team, and these guys need to rally around, take the leadership, take those big games that they have been in the last 3 or 4 years, and go into Chapel Hill and come out with a W.
All right, let's get into your 3 Ks to the game. Number 1 being this Notre Dame passing attack getting on track, Tim.
Yeah, and this is the perfect game to do it. Cal, Coach Wilcox, a heck of very well-respected defensive coordinator out there on the West Coast, had a really good game plan, and Notre Dame took advantage of it, nickel and diamond. For UNC, I know they're 3-0, but they have some crazy wow numbers when you look at them defensively.
Bad
they
wow.
are bad wow numbers. They are 126th in passing efficiency. There's only 131 teams that are ranked. So the biggest one right here is they're 119th in giving up first downs. So this could be a great game for Pine in this passing attack to come alive. And then the biggest one, which fits right into Drew Pine's, wheelhouse, 70% completion, right? That's what he was last year in the games that he got in against Wisconsin and Cincinnati. He was 70% the other day, playing 4 quarters against Cal once he got on the roll, finishing 14-15. North Carolina is 121st in passing completion percentage. They are giving up 69.7% per game. And they're 3 games. They haven't played juggernauts now. Some good, solid football teams, Georgia State, and they've gone on the road. So I will give Mac Brown and UNC a high five there. They've gone on the road, but it's on the road. And when you're going Power 5, you don't see a lot of Power 5s going into Appalachia State and Georgia State. So not that that's a biggie, but still 3 very average football teams when you look at it. And defensively, they have gotten shredded. So Drew Pine, this offense, and especially the passing attack, which we have been talking nonstop for months on end, needs to come alive. And this is a perfect recipe for this football team.
All right, so the Notre Dame, and this is really just football in general.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's offensive passing attack needs to be really good. And then on the other side of the ball, Notre Dame's secondary needs to be really good against UNC's passing attack, Tim, because Drake May, the quarterback, is outstanding. And for as good as North Carolina's offense has been this season, they've been without their leading receiver, I want to say from last year, Josh Downs. Mm-hmm. We'll note, older brother of a former Irish 5-star safety target, Caleb Downs. But it's a great offense.
Oh yeah, I mean May is. I mean you watch him; he's electric. I mean he's Sam Howell probably plus more. He's tall, long, rocket arm. If Notre Dame, the fans haven't seen him yet, he's a good football player. I mean he was, I know, a nationally ranked recruit. He is legit, and we're going to see a heck of a football player on Saturday. Downs is coming back. Mac Brown talked about Green, their other wide receiver, who's been a little nicked up this year, is an NFL prospect. So he fully thinks his whole wide receiver unit's going to play in the NFL. The O-line has been the struggle against Notre Dame the last couple of years, where the front seven has really owned the game against them. But UNC seventh and third down conversions, seventh in overall passing attack for the whole country. And then I know the secondary Notre Dame's played, that was a question mark when we go back to the Fiesta Bowl, and they played solid football this year. They really have. But it just feels like they're going to get a huge, huge test in Chapel Hill, because I fully expect them not even to waste their time running the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if May comes out and throws the ball 50, 55 times. It may get that type of game where they just don't respect Notre Dame on their perimeter. And I think for the first time this season, we're going to see an aerial assault against this secondary.
You think it would have been C.J. Stroud in Ohio State,
Yes.
but that did not happen. So
Yes.
I'll throw in key number 2.5, Tim, a freaking turnover. Just please do one of those. All right,
Just
key
one.
number 3, Tim. Can this offensive line, I'll say minus Joe Alt, because my boy's already taken
Yes.
a big step forward.
Yes.
Can the rest of the unit take one forward, Tim?
No, great point. Real quick on, Joe Alt, the last 2 weeks has been the highest graded offensive football player per Pro Football Focus. Joe Alt has played outstanding football these last 2 games and was he was I think the highest ranked offensive lineman in Ohio State as well. So he has been the best offensive lineman through these 3 games. And the point I wanted to make, this O-line took a step forward because they did those last 3 quarters. The running game, the physicality that they started to play with showed. And looking at Pro Football Focus again, I know we always look at their stats, whether you agree with them or not. It's a data point, and people love to look at data points. The highest ranked football players against Cal were 3 offensive linemen. So that, for the first time this year, because they were the bottom against Ohio State and Marshall as well. So they really took a step forward in going back to the North Carolina defense. They're giving up nearly 200 yards a game on the ground. So this offensive line needs to take that step forward, take that physical approach, because it's about protecting Drew Pine as well. So with the run game and the pass protection.
All right. Favorite time of this video is the score prediction, because, for me, mine's 27-24 Fighting Irish. Ooh. And that's kind of a one that I came up with based on, this is where I think Notre Dame, the amount of points they need to score based on how I think the defense will. So it's a little bit more thought that goes into it. Tim's is a little bit more just history and fun facts. So what you got for us, Tim?
And I'm very close to your score, by the way. It's fascinating. So what I did is I love to go back and just look at things in the history of this game. UNC's only beaten Notre Dame twice, but this is going to be the 7th time Notre Dame has played North Carolina with a first-time head coach. Charlie Weiss a couple times, and Coach Brennan back in the 50s played North Carolina. And what's fascinating is the average score in those games has been 32-18 Notre Dame. So what I did, I took 6 away from Notre Dame for the offense. I gave 6 to North Carolina because they have a better offense. And I'm going to go with Notre Dame 26, North Carolina 24 in my little, history there with first-time coaches in Notre Dame facing North Carolina. But I think Notre Dame's going to come out of this 2-2, wipe the clean slate, have a bye week. Coach Freeman's already talked about he wants to have 4 big days next week of practice, take the weekend off, come back for BYU, and Notre Dame needs to be 2-2 going into that game.
Here's something for the degenerates out there, or maybe just a data point just for everyone to understand. Maybe if you're not much of a gambler. There's a saying called fade the public. So OddsShark says that 80%, unless I'm reading this incorrectly, 80% of the people are betting North Carolina to win by 2 points or more. Fade the public. So this says go with the Fighting Irish to either lose by 1 or to win outright. So I think that's interesting. Yeah,
That is.
their data has Notre Dame 35-32. So I do find it interesting that it's also the public is very much on this under 55.5, which if North Carolina's on, they could score 40 easily, Tim.
No, I agree. That is interesting. Like, my score there, I got 50, 26-24. So it's, I may have a low score because I did a little history with it and whatnot. It could be a high scoring game. It's, I think we're gonna see Notre Dame run the ball. I think we're gonna see them play really physical football, a little combination of that Cal game. They probably are gonna have to take a couple shots meaning that 20, 25-yard seam type of route down the middle of the field that they're gonna have to do in this game. I don't think Marcus Freeman would mind them killing some clock on some long drives. That's why a couple punts, couple field goals here and there. That's how I got with 26. But this game could easily be 35, 32 in a heartbeat in whatever it is. I think it's going to be 20s because North Carolina has also not played a defense as physical and as fast as Notre Dame. This is going to be their first test of this season.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this video. Again, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content, and head to blueandgold.com for the full staff predictions article on the website with Patrick Angle, Tyler Horka, Todd Burlage, myself, Steve Downey, everyone giving their score prediction. So again, head to the website and check that out, and we'll catch you next time.